Ahoy, mateys, and welcome to another episode of Shore Leave, where these two sailors are taking a chance to kick back, absorb the local color, and talk about some anime and Japan-related topics. I'm your host, Caliban.
I'm your co-host, Mikan Hana.
And we're here to rake up a bunch of leaves, because it's fall, baby! Late fall, and the snow is coming soon to cover up all those unraked leaves.
That's true.
Welcome to the people watching on Twitch and on YouTube. Thanks for joining us for this ongoing experiment. We are streaming our live Shore Leave episodes, and we'll be watching the chat throughout the show, so feel free to join into the conversation. And if you haven't yet, why not take this chance to subscribe to us here on Twitch by hitting the heart icon, click the bell icon below the video there, so you get notified when we're live and broadcasting in the future. And the same goes for YouTube. Give us a sub on YouTube if you haven't yet. Give us a like on the video. It really does help with our engagement. And when you get a chance, check out our About page on Twitch or on our YouTube channel as well. We've got a donation link too, so if you want to send us a tip on Twitch or a super chat on YouTube, that would be so amazing.
Yes,
how you doing?
Would. I'm doing good. How are you, Cal?
Good. It's been a long week.
It has been a long week.
Not like a, oh my God, I can't believe we got to it. Just a week where I felt like there was a lot of sort of existential sort of drama, just sort of thinking about things, and I won't get into specifics, but yeah, we're finally here. I felt kind of discombobulated, kind of a little lost all week, but here we are.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's very real. I felt a little out of sorts myself. So
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe there's something in the air, the changing of the seasons, or what have you.
Must be something in the water. Yeah.
Yeah.
The changing of the seasons. Yeah, get ready for our favorite season, winter.
Yeah, that last 6 months.
Which has already started. I don't care what the calendar or the moon says.
Yeah, exactly.
We're already here. Let's talk about a little news this week. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
I just thought that we could do that before we got rolling. There is some not great news.
Okay.
That I want to share. And the first part of the news that I want to share is, you know about the Takarazuka Review?
Yes, I do.
Well, the Takarazuka Review is been on hiatus, essentially.
Okay.
Because of a troop member's death.
Oh, no.
Yes. It was in, I'll have to check the story here, but they just returned to performing in their shows after the death of a 25-year-old member of the company in September.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's kind of a big deal because it's their 100th anniversary next year.
Okay.
And so they had to delay the starting of their current, season.
Okay.
But it has just gone up, and basically we don't exactly know exactly what happened. The performer, who was 25 years old, was found in their apartment dead, and
oh my gosh.
Suspected it was a suicide.
Okay.
And so obviously this could happen to anybody, but there are people within the orbit of Takarazuka Review who have pointed out the difficult conditions, the pressures that they work under. The excessive guidance and bullying is a quote from one of the fans.
Wow.
About the pressures that they go through, being a performer in the review. And so no charges have been filed. Nobody has said anything specific. The director apologized for the lateness of the start.
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, it just seems like, not a great situation.
No, not a great situation at all. I mean, you never want to hear about somebody taking their own life.
In what you know about the show, have you heard, performers or former performers talk about how it was difficult to be in the review?
I don't know that they necessarily talked about how it was difficult to be in the review, but it is grueling. They're they're constantly working on stuff. They're constantly rehearsing, and working on putting up a new show. and that sort of thing. And if they're really popular, then they also have like tons of fans and stuff like that. But maybe there's also pressure on somebody who isn't necessarily in the spotlight. Like, how do people feel about me? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the superstars, they know what to expect, I think, to some extent about fans and everything. But you could be somebody who's in like the chorus or what have you, and still have this grueling rehearsed schedule and all this pressure put upon you, but you don't have the fan base necessarily.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have negative experiences with fans. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been around a lot of performing people and been a performer, myself, and I don't think I know anybody, just going through my Rolodex of people who, I mean, there's pressures, but I don't know anybody who's taken their own life, I don't think. But I don't know what it's like culturally, and I don't know what it's like in terms of the conditions that they go through and the pressures that they face. I mean, we're speculating on something that we don't know.
You're absolutely
although
right.
we do know that people, harming themselves is up everywhere, and has always been kind of a thing in Japan. So, yeah, I guess not great news, but good news that the review is back and still going, and hopefully people will find the pressures to be less than they've been in the past.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not a great story to start on, not very happy, and we're going from unhappiness to unhappiness. It turns out that Marimo balls might be in trouble.
What?
So, Marimo balls,
Yes.
which we've talked about on the show a lot.
We have.
It's one of my favorite little things. I don't know why I don't have one. Little moss balls that are your pets. Climate change has affected everything, and it turns out that climate change may be affecting Marimo balls as well.
Oh no, that's not good.
I'm sure they're in multiple lakes, but I think Lake Akanko is sort of the main place where you find Marimo balls.
That sounds about right.
Because of the conditions in the lake, and they've been testing them over the past couple of years. The importance of the sunlight and the water temperature is sort of what allows them to grow and to thrive. And over the past few years, they've seen the maximum growth of your average Marimo ball go down.
Oh.
They said that in 1988, the last time they sort of checked this, it was 4.7 centimeters was the, I'm going like this, I should be going like this.
Yeah.
4.7 centimeters was the average size of a Marimo ball. Now it's down to 3.7 centimeters.
So that's quite a bit of a difference there. Yeah, like 10 centimeters or so.
One of the problems is that usually the water temperature is below 24 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm American. I don't know what 24 degrees is, but I assume that's not too hot.
Yeah.
And in the past couple of years, it's been bad. In 2021, it was 28.5 degrees.
Okay.
It was 27.5 degrees last year.
Okay.
And so it has been consistently over that point of 24 degrees, meaning that Marimos are smaller, they're less frequent, and sicklier, I guess.
That's not good.
Yeah.
We don't want sick Marimo balls.
I know. What are we going to talk about on the show?
I don't know.
How are people going to keep these cute little Marimo balls?
Yeah, that's really sad that the conditions are not as good.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that climate change is affecting the world, but please think of the Marimo balls.
Think of the Marimo balls.
Hashtag save the Marimo. I'm going to start a campaign right now.
Umino says save the
Umino
Marimo.
says save the... Yeah. So hopefully we can go from some kind of depressing news to some exciting stories, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Let's get right into it. What have you got to talk about this week?
Well, mine is somewhat exciting, but also somewhat disappointing.
Uh-oh.
So they tried to cancel Halloween in Shibuya.
Oh, hell no. They're never going to cancel Halloween.
Yeah. So for the past decade or so, Tokyo's youth has met in Shibuya to drink, party, and gawk at costumes on Halloween. But this year, Shibuya is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on an information campaign that they hoped would prevent people from coming.
Huh.
And there's this huge sign, quote, "No events for Halloween on Shibuya streets." I think I have an image. This is the first image. Right there, yeah. Proclaim posters plastered across the railway station. And Shibuya Mayor Ken Hasebe has taken to speaking to foreign press to get his message across. So they're very serious about no Halloween.
If they're really serious, drinking alcohol in public spaces prohibited from October 27th to October 31st.
Yes, we were going to get to that, yeah. In 2019, the same posters read, quote, "Let's make Halloween a part of Shibuya to be proud of." So they really changed their tune since 2019. It was, encouraging good demeanor while having fun. And one reason why Shibuya tried to cancel Halloween is because of what happened in Itaewon last year. Itaewon is a hip part of Seoul, and last year around 160 people were killed in a crush of people during Halloween weekend. Yes, Seoul, Korea.
Okay. Yikes.
It was really bad.
That's a lot of Harley Quinns.
It was
going to the hospital.
Well, and it was like bad planning by the city, and like they didn't have enough people out to help monitor and like guide the crowds and everything. So that was, so there is that, but Halloween in Shibuya has gotten chaotic and rowdy. People have pushed over cars and people have run through the streets naked. So for Japan, that's
every
a lot.
year, or just like
not every year,
like post-COVID. Everybody's crazy post-COVID.
Well, some of it happened pre-COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Tokyo has its own brushes with Halloween disaster. 2 years ago, a man dressed as the Joker stabbed another man on a train and attempted to kill others by starting a fire.
It's always the Joker.
I know. We need to not celebrate how much
Let's
of an
start by
incel
not
the Joker is.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what this stabber's opinion was on involuntary celibacy, but maybe we'll stop giving Oscars to people for playing the Joker.
I think maybe we should.
I think we nailed it.
I think we.
Sorry, Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
We're not going 3 for 3 on this.
No, we're not doing 3 for 3.
It doesn't matter how good you do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Halloween is a relatively recent event in Japan. In 1997, Tokyo Disneyland started a Halloween parade, and
it's Disney's fault.
It's Disney's fault. Yes, it is frequently attributed with popularizing the celebration, giving folks a reason to dress up.
Okay.
Around 2011, young people in costumes began to gather in Shibuya in the hundreds, and then the thousands as Halloween approached. It was even an official event, and it just naturally evolved. I have another image here.
Oh, okay.
And I picked this one specifically because there's somebody dressed as Sailor Moon.
There's a man dressed as Sailor Moon.
Yeah. But this just gives you like a brief idea of like what it's kind of like in Shibuya. People walking around with costumes, taking pictures, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
No one knows exactly why it took off the way it did, like why Halloween in Shibuya took off.
Huh.
Some cite the rise of Facebook and Twitter, which grew in popularity after the earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster of 2011.
Okay.
Others cite the Harajuku icon Kyari Pamu Pamu song Fashion Monster, which was released in 2012.
Okay.
Whose music video featured various monsters playing instruments in a haunted house.
And then Shibuya.
Okay,
of course.
So I don't know.
Do the Shibuya mash.
And initially, authorities were supportive. For several years in the mid-2010s, the city blocked off main passages of Dogenzaka on multiple nights, freeing up the city center to cosplaying pedestrians. Okay. So we're taking cars out of the equation.
Yeah.
And we're for several nights. So they're being supportive of it.
Sure. Laying the ground.
Yes.
For a disaster.
Right.
Setting the table.
Exactly. But as the number of attendees peaked pre-pandemic, Shibuya began to lose patience with the event. Bad press spread when a small truck was overturned in 2018. I've got an image of this.
Oh no. Oh, no.
It's a K truck, but they pushed it over.
Woo!
And the media highlighted reports of sexual harassment and other assaults, though not good. Though serious incidents were limited. In 2019, in an attempt to limit rambunctiousness, the city began asking stores to stop selling alcohol.
Oh.
Drinking in the streets, of course, is legal in Japan, though.
Just is it a boot on the Asahi machine?
Yeah,
Something
right.
like, what do they do?
Well, like they're asking the stores to stop selling it, and then I guess you maybe
You got to stop the vending
machines
yeah.
too. Yeah, exactly.
It's all chocolate milk.
And
Flip
corn,
that truck.
and corn soup.
Yeah, corn. Yeah, right.
So it's legal to drink in the streets of Japan ordinarily. But Shibuya has passed a rather powerless local ordinance that limits drinking in the streets around Halloween and New Year's Eve.
Okay.
While Shibuya's pre-pandemic Halloween crowds peaked at about 40,000 in 2019, authorities were bracing for as many as 60,000 people to show up this year.
Wow.
Quote, "This year we're making it clear to the world that Shibuya is not a venue for Halloween events," end quote. That's Ken Hasabe, the mayor of Shibuya, told reporters this month at a foreign correspondents club.
Halloween is canceled.
That's right. Quote, "Please do not come to Shibuya Station after area for Halloween." For 2023, Shibuya banned public drinking from October 27th to Halloween around the station, specifically in areas of Dogenzaka and Center Gai, as well as other public places. And the times of the ban are from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Around 35 of the local stores were encouraged to not sell alcohol. Encouraged.
Oh, okay, so it's not they're encouraged.
Yes, they're strongly encouraged.
I guess in Japan that probably works.
I think it does. Yeah.
But there isn't like an injunction or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Some 300 private security guards have been hired, and 150 city officials will helped patrol and enforce the no smoking, no drinking ordinance, in addition to scores of police.
No jokers.
That's right. A simple way to think about it is that Shibuya on Halloween is like Las Vegas on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of level of rambunctiousness and
no truck is
chaotic.
safe.
Yeah, right, exactly. They actually barricaded the statue of Hachiko the dog because it's a well-known spot to meet your friends at in Shibuya.
Sure.
Like, where are we going to meet? Oh, we're going to meet by Hachiko. So they
tonight.
They enclosed it.
Okay.
So you couldn't even see it. Yeah. So police were doing their best to keep the crowd moving. They were lined up on the Shibuya crossing and held reflective police crossing signs, blew whistles, and held batons. They did keep the crowd moving for the crossing, but it was still a lot of folks there, and some were dressed up. So I do have like a small video clip of this, a short video clip of this, I should say. So in a minute here, you'll see.
Wow.
So this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And this is the famous Shibuya Scramble, Shibuya Crossing.
I've killed a lot of ghosts here.
Yes, exactly. It's not a ghost parade, it's a Halloween parade of people who are not excited to not be doing Halloween.
That guy's double filming.
Yeah. I mean, you see lots of people filming this because this is a sight to be seen.
Yeah. Some people have shopping bags. Nobody's really in costume, so it's either people doing late shopping on Halloween, or there's like just rubberneckers. There's people who are like,
there we have some.
I heard it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. There are a few people dressed up, but it's not a ton.
They got the cops have lightsabers.
Yeah, I know. It looks like they have
seriously.
lightsabers. But they,
Oh, in English too.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it in English too, saying, be wary and watch out and that sort of thing.
Out.
That's right. It still was somewhat chaotic this year. A motorcyclist tried to pop a wheelie and ran into the taxi in front of them.
What?
I have a clip of this as well.
Okay.
This is from a video by Aki Dearest, who's a YouTuber.
Oh, okay. So we're using her video.
We're using
Thanks, Aki.
her video of the video.
Oh my God. Oh.
So she showed it in her video. So
He's okay?
he's okay.
He's
very embarrassed, I think.
yes, he is embarrassed. Oh, they got the Bozuzoku.
Okay, first off, that's not fun to me. I would
this
have
is
probably been
Aki.
like, holy shit, if I saw that in person. But actually, you know what I noticed? People in the taxi, they're actually laughing
those, like-
at this whole thing.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah.
I feel like it's because Halloween Shibuya, when you go in, it's already a given that it's going to be chaotic. You're expected to see some crazy shit. So I think people are already mentally prepared to
Are
see
these
things
guys
like
in
this.
the coats? They're not like
This
real
is what I'm talking about.
Bozuzoku.
I don't think so.
That's like a
and then the
Bozuzoku
police
costume?
comes
Yeah.
and gets them in trouble.
I think
Goddamn.
they're fake Bozuzoku.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing worse than a fake Bozuzoku.
I know. So some people went to Ikebukuro for Halloween instead of Shibuya because there was already a Halloween event taking place there.
Okay.
So people
With
are.
no alcohol.
I think there was alcohol there.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah. But anyways.
No motorcycles.
No motorcycles. Yeah. But kind of like a big deal. I feel like they weren't totally successful in canceling Halloween because there's still like a ton of people out there and people were filming it because it's so
Yeah.
chaotic.
I mean, I guess you're letting people know, hey, you know, we're trying not to be so crazy this year, so
Yeah.
don't do that. If people still come out, there's notoriety now, so people are coming out to kind of rubberneck,
Yes.
which is also going to cause a problem.
yes.
Rubbernecks cause bottlenecks.
Yes, right.
But if they're not like, at least they're not drunk.
That's true. It's because they can't be unless they bring their own alcohol.
Yeah, they're probably doing that.
Yeah, right. I think they probably are.
Yeah, I think they are. Well, you know, they want to do the kid gloves, white gloves
Yes.
approach to policing. I think that's good. I mean, here we just, you know, have a bunch of guys with helmets and
I know.
plexiglass shields yelling at everybody.
At
So,
least if it's polite and it's organized,
it's true.
I will give them that much.
All right.
Even though I feel like they kind of did it themselves a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think we
R.I.P.
could-
that guy's motorcycle
Yeah, I know, right?
or girl. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I think it's a dude, but
All right.
anyways. So yeah, that's Halloween being
good luck.
canceled.
See you in 2024.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, thanks for that. Let's talk about what I brought for us today.
Yes.
I want you to remember where you are and what you're doing,
Okay.
because this is the last second of your life that you don't know about what I'm going to show you.
Okay.
You will be forever changed by the glory of Thunderbolt fantasy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. It's amazing. I love it so much.
Don't smoke. Smoke. Bat the puppets.
The music is so intense.
Yeah. It's very anime OP, but like on steroids.
Yeah, no kidding. They've got a very distinct look too.
Yeah.
Like you can tell
That's
that
cherry
they're
blossom violence.
yeah. You can tell that they're puppets, but like in a cool way.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like they're like the coolest puppets you could ever possibly imagine. Oh my god.
We're doing the triple kick. So, if that was just a YouTube video
Yeah.
made by some enterprising person, it would be the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah, I would agree.
But you're in luck. There's an entire show behind
Oh
this.
my god. Oh my god, amazing.
Thunderbolt Fantasy is a Taiwanese glove puppet martial arts series that debuted in
Wow.
2016 on both Taiwanese and Japanese television. It was created and written by Gen Urobuchi, the co-creator of Puella Magi Madoka Magica,
Okay.
as well as Psycho Pass, Fate Zero, and Kamen Rider Game.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the synopsis. Set in an Eastern fantasy setting, Dian Fei and her brother, guardians of a sword, known as the Tian Xingjian, are pursued by the evil Zhuan Guizong clan, who seek to obtain the sword for their master, Mi Tianhai. When her brother is defeated, Fei, who possesses the sword's crossguard, escapes and finds herself in the care of the wandering swordsman Shang Buhuan and a mysterious man named Lin Zhuya. And they become her protectors from the pursuing Zhuang Guzong clan.
Oh my gosh.
This show is incredible. It's like Lord of the Rings meets Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets Soul Calibur. Like, there's just so much happening in this show. First, a little background, a little explanation.
Yeah.
Humans have been doing puppetry for thousands of years. And in the Far East, Chinese puppetry has a tradition that goes back 3,000 years or so.
Sure.
Beginning with the Pi Yung Shi, or Theater of Lantern Shadows, shadow puppet theater.
Okay, sure.
These puppets were moved by rods or by strings, and that tradition spread to the other Southeast Asian regions, which each developed their own techniques over time. There's the Korean Baltal puppetry,
Okay.
which is puppets manipulated by the puppeteer's feet.
Oh, okay.
It's
Wow.
kind of like, I've seen pictures or videos of it, and it's sort of like a Christian youth group puppet show or something like that, but the guys are like behind it and they're using their feet somehow to make the puppets go. So
Wow.
there's Vietnamese water puppetry where puppets float in a pool and perform
Interesting.
dances to musical accompaniment, and they are manipulated by strings and rods as well. It's supposed to evoke the idea of the rice paddy, where these shows were originally put on by traveling performers.
Interesting.
So they kind of float, but they also, it's like synchronized and they do stuff like that.
Okay, sure.
I believe we've talked about Bunraku on Sailor
Yeah,
Noob,
Bunraku,
the
yeah.
Japanese form of puppetry where black-clad performers manipulate marionette-like puppets on a stage.
Yes.
Well, Thunderbolt Fantasy employs the traditional art of budaishi, or glove puppetry, and that originated in the 17th century in Jiangzhou of China's Fujian province, which is, this
Okay.
is the southern sort of part, the southern kind of crescent edge of China by the ocean. And it has become contemporarily a popular art form in Taiwan,
Interesting.
because a lot of people in Taiwan are from that part of China initially, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So glove puppets have heads which are carved of wood, as well as their hands and feet often. But
Okay.
the puppet's torso and then everything else, the limbs, are entirely cloth and their costume.
Oh, interesting.
And so the puppeteer manipulates the puppet from the inside, as well as sometimes using strings or rods to move the arms and the limbs as well to bring it to
Okay.
life. In previous years, when puppets were less sophisticated, the puppets resembled cloth sacks, which gave it the name budeashi, which literally means cloth bag opera.
Oh, interesting.
Glove puppetry performance is similar to some types of Chinese opera. During the first half, known as the show platform, the audience is shown sort of a demonstration by a master puppeteer on stage.
Okay.
And then the second half is the puppet master and the orchestra and the performers doing the spoken parts. And despite it being called opera, human singing is not usually used.
Okay.
So I don't know what's up with that.
Interesting.
It's operatic.
Sure.
We're going to talk
Story's
about
operatic.
right. Yeah, the whole thing is an opera. It's a puppet opera. If we're going to talk about glove puppetry in modern Taiwan, we need to talk about Pili.
Okay.
Pili, which means Thunderbolt, is a Taiwanese company that has produced an eponymous TV series since 1984. It features ongoing adventure stories in a wuxia setting.
Okay.
And I should note, I've often seen it characterized as wuxia or martial heroes. This is the genre of kung fu movies, Shaw Brothers films, Jet Li movies, that
Sure.
type of stuff. It's probably more accurately, though, a Xianxia series, which features magic and immortal beings in those settings. So, like,
Okay.
people in Crouching Tiger, they'll run on bamboo, or they'll do they'll run on a wall or something like that. But they're essentially human.
Right.
But in a Zhanxia story, it deals with supernatural beings, characters with magical powers, and gods. It's not a definitive split between them, but I thought I'd mention that.
Okay.
Because in Thunderbolt Fantasy, the volume is turned way up.
Okay. Sure.
Pili has produced numerous series domestically since the 1980s for both broadcast and for the web. I don't know how many, because in researching this, I ran into that whole English internet, Chinese internet thing.
Okay,
where
sure.
it's tough to get information that's readable or even get results from foreign sites.
Yeah, sure.
Most of the Pili or Taiwanese puppet information you're likely to find is related to the recent Thunderbolt fantasy.
Okay.
But Pili is notable for incorporating digital effects into their shows.
Okay.
And of course, those effects have become more sophisticated as the years have gone on. Not strictly traditional, these effects, but the refined look of the Pili series has contributed to the popularity of them, with the original Pili series enjoying a 90% viewership in Taiwan.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
10,
a lot.
10 people in a room, one guy's like, what are you guys talking about? The show draws on the history of Chinese wuxia films, as well as the visuals and pacing of anime as well, leading to a presentation that is simultaneously very traditional and very modern. And this is not a clip from Thunderbolt Fantasy. This is just a clip from another show, I think that came out in like the early teens or late aughts.
Okay.
But it's another Pili show.
Oh my gosh.
下流能將選定韓國彝族教性背所用教，挑紅氣之骨，
You see, they add these effects.
應該
The fire and everything.
Yeah.
結論不須在身。
Sand being thrown too.
I don't have subtitles for these clips, so they're mad at each other. They're shooting dragons at each other. That's all you need to know.
You made me bleed my own blood.
Yes.
水任務定出，
Talk to the hand.
Oh.
將對任務，我受清醒，差異之步。
Oh, he's praying for him. What's going
Oh my
on?
god.
What's
Oh
this?
my god.
All right. Hopefully Miss Piggy turned out okay.
Yeah.
Some viewers may remember in the mid-2000s, during the latter era, or the late era of the anime boom, a Cartoon Network series called Wulin Warriors was broadcast. Wulin was an edited and dubbed version of the original Pili series, and viewers hated it.
Oh, really?
Purists didn't like that the characters and storylines were changed in the localization, and most other viewers just didn't understand what the hell they were watching.
Okay.
The show was taken off the air after 2 episodes had aired.
Oh my gosh.
So, not really great. I've got a clip.
Okay.
Let's look at it.
All right. let's
Yeah! That guy was mad! Maybe you owe him some money or something.
Oh
Get
my
serious,
God.
Scar. I've never seen that ninja before in my life. He seemed to know us, though. You know what this means?
Pizza party?
No. It
This
means
is
we must
so
return
bad.
to the academy.
To eat pizza?
What?
This guy
No.
loves pizza.
To consult with the Oracle.
The Pizza Oracle?
Yep.
Oh
There
my
is
God.
no pizza Oracle, Scar.
So you keep telling me.
It's good stuff.
Were they just thinking ninjas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, pizza?
Yep.
Is that what they were thinking?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, not very successful over here because of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's too bad.
But the show has continued to be successful in Taiwan. It's still on. Multiple spin-offs,
Wow.
series and films have been produced. And Pili Fantasy War of Dragons premiered on Netflix in 2019.
Oh.
It was a remake of the 6th season of the original Pili series. This thing has been on for years. There's
I was
like
gonna
30
say.
of these series. And it's the first time a Pili series has aired in Western countries unedited.
Oh, wow.
So you can watch it presumably right now. And it's a couple years ago, maybe they took it off, but it's been on Netflix.
Okay.
Which brings us back to Thunderbolt Fantasy. Thunderbolt Fantasy is a spin-off series from the original Pili continuity. It's set in the same world, features new characters.
Okay.
And as stated before, it was created and written by anime producer Gen Urobuchi. The show features a more anime-like format. That's intentional.
Yeah.
They're half-hour episodes. Urobuchi discovered glove puppetry at a convention in Taiwan in 2014, and
Okay.
he brought with him back to Japan a full set of tapes of the Pili series, which he used to pitch the idea of an anime-style puppetry series to producers.
Okay.
This led to the Thunderbolt Fantasy Project, a co-production with Pili that presented a new series with anime-inspired visuals that was designed to appeal to first-time viewers in the anime demographic.
Sure.
And it's been a success. There's been 3 seasons of 39 episodes so far, as well as
Wow.
2 manga spin-offs, a novel, and 2 feature films.
Wow.
The series airs in Taiwan, China, and Japan, and is redubbed into Mandarin and Japanese for the foreign market.
Oh, okay.
There are also lines where the characters are just using special moves or casting spells, and they're just spoken in Chinese, and it's untranslated.
Oh, okay.
So that's they're invoking their powers or what have you.
Okay, sure.
Let's meet the characters.
Sure.
The arguable main character is Shang Buhan, which
Okay.
means unconcerned with dying young. And I should just say, because he's not young, he's got gray in his hair.
Oh, okay.
I should just say here that each character has two names, their personal name and their art name or their professional name,
Okay.
which is a tradition in China. Sort of like their adventuring pseudonym, you know?
Sure.
Call me Rocky. Shang's art name is Ren Wu Feng, or the Edgeless Blade.
Okay.
Shan is, he's a cynical wandering swordsman. He's the Wolverine of the group.
Sure.
Although I should say that almost everybody else that gets added to the group is so edgy that he ends up being the Bilbo of the group, ultimately.
Oh, no.
They make him look normal by comparison.
Oh, my gosh.
He's from another part of this world, so he's kind of the character that we meet all the other characters through. He's kind of figuring things
Fish
out
out of
as he
water
goes.
sort of thing.
He gets pulled into the events of the show reluctantly, but he ends up trying to do the right thing in the series. There's also Gui Niao, a.k.a. Glam Gandalf, or Glamdolf. He is a mysterious figure that Shang meets at the beginning of the series who draws him into the events of the show. He's always smoking his pipe, and he's clearly possessed of abilities beyond that of mortal men, but he remains mysterious.
Yes.
He's also the connection to many of the other characters in the show. Everybody seems to know him, and no one is all that happy when he shows up.
Oh, okay.
There's Jian Fei, or the Vermilion Kingfisher. Fei is one of the sword guardians of the Tian Xingzhan, a powerful blade that she is sworn to protect.
Okay.
Basically, the mythology or the cosmology of the show is at the beginning of time, the humans were fighting demons in the War of Fading Dusk, and man asked the gods for weapons to fight the demons, and they presented them with these holy magical swords.
Okay.
And so one of these swords is a sword that she has grown up protecting at the sword forging shrine.
Sure.
However, at the beginning of the show, it's lost, the
Okay.
sword, and so the main quest of the show is to retrieve it. She's a skilled fighter, but she grew up in isolation, so she's naive about the outside world.
Okay.
There's Shou Yun Xiao, the Sky Hunter, or his art name Rui Yan Chuan Yang,
Okay.
the keen-eyed sharpshooter. He is a grizzled, one-eyed archer who travels with Yuan Kan Yun. His name means to furl scattered clouds.
Oh, my gosh.
Or his nom de guerre, Han Hei, the prominent coldness. He is a young and brash spearman. They are both sworn brothers and are roped into the quest to retrieve the sacred blade by Glamdalf.
Okay,
There's also Jing Hai, the Weeping Knight, who is a demon necromancer.
Oh, my God.
The hero's quest requires them to pass through a valley of zombies, so Gui Nao
Okay.
tries to recruit her as an ally in her haunted forest.
Oh, my gosh.
And she hates Gui Nao over some previous misadventure that has happened between them, but she agrees to help the heroes because of the threat of the sword.
Okay.
There's also Sha Wu Sheng,
Oh, my gosh.
the Eradicator of Life, also known as the Screaming Phoenix Executor.
Oh, my gosh.
He is an infamous assassin and a real asshole.
Oh,
He has sworn revenge on Gui Nao and has taken possession of the magic flute that the team needs to get the sword by killing Glamdalf's friend who held it.
uh-oh.
But Gui Nao negotiates for his services on the quest in exchange for letting Sha kill him at the end of the quest.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is kind of hanging over them. The bad guys, other than the bad guys already on the team.
Yeah, right.
I won't get into all the henchmen, but they're led by Mitan Hai, the
Okay.
skeleton who scorns the heavens.
Oh, my gosh.
He's also known as the mass array of dry bones, or the bones of creation. He is a Skeletor-like dude who possesses necromantic powers, and he collects legendary swords, and he's got his eyes on the Tianjing Zhan.
Of course.
And at the start of the
Of course he
series,
does.
he kills Fei's brother Heng and takes the sword's hilt. And for the rest of the series, he sends his lieutenants out to track down the rest of the sword.
Okay.
So Deng has the cross guard, and then the blade of the sword is like it's like King Arthur'd somewhere else. You need the
Okay.
handle and the guard to like get the sword.
Okay.
So anyway, he leads the Zhuan Guizhong. They live in a Mordor-like land. Their base is on Seven Sins Mountain. Are we the baddies? Are we the baddies here?
Not quite sure.
So yeah, that is your cast of characters. Let's watch some clips of the show. I know this won't
Okay.
do much for the listeners, but we'll try to explain what's going on. And hey, twitch.tv, Just Enough Trope, 7 p.m. Central, last Friday of the month.
Yes, that's right.
Here's our first clip. Let me set this up. In this clip, I believe it is one of the first scenes of the show. Deng and her brother are fleeing the bad guys, and they find out that they're not going to get away so cleanly.
Okay.
Oh, I got to turn the pictures off.
Okay.
What I do? Oh my god! All right, we'll reset this.
Okay.
That's not what we wanted to do.
No.
Maybe don't watch the show.
Stop it. Don't say that.
All right. Here's the clip.
Okay.
All right. Here's the clip.
Got it.
次はない
Okay. Very powerful blast of air.
次はない
All the bad guys are bowing.
Yeah. Looks like lightning. Yeah.
暗仏之順非凡之祖
Yeah, this is in Chinese.
本我実講上国
I mean, he does kind of look like a Skeletor
We
guy.
got a problem.
Yeah.
漢人之前為祖領導
Sir, you landed too rough. Slower next time.
真羅骨骨熱天外我らが聖域にな
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Little raspberry jam there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he is a badass. He kills that guy who's bleeding, and so the sister is on her own for the rest of the show. The next clip, let's just go in dry here.
Okay.
断じてそのよう
Oh,
な
okay. This is what I want to say about this clip. A lot of the action is puppets talking to each other,
Yeah, sure.
and their mouths don't really move.
Right.
That a little bit, but that's not really a part of this. So they need to find a way to express themselves and their emotions through how they sort of move
Sure.
to accompany how the very good voice actors are sort of selling these
Yes.
lines. And so I thought this clip was a good example of that.
断じてそのようなことは兄は一流の剣士でした。私などお呼びもつきません。
じゃあそんな兄貴を切ってやろう
Shang is not
兄貴に及ばぬあんたがどうしようってんだ
Yeah.
ちった
It's interesting.
頭を
He
消
always
して
does
く
this
んな
little
それは
Their eyes move, but their
でも
mouths
Yes.
don't
深
really
海魔
move.
界が
Glamdorf's just waking up. Shen
What I
always
miss?
Shen always punctuates like what he says because he does this little move and he goes, huh, like that. Here's our next clip. It is an example of a crowd scene in the show.
Oh, wow.
So what has happened is that Shen has met Gui Nao, and Gui Nao has kind of tricked him into helping this girl fight off the last of the Skeletor men.
Okay.
And he says, you should come along with us on this quest. And Shang's like, I'm not doing that. I'm out of here.
I'm not a joiner.
Right.
Yeah.
But he sort of mistakenly, I should have a clip for this. He ended up telling his name to the head bad guy, not the Skeletor guy,
Okay.
his lieutenant guy. And then he kills the lieutenant in self-defense. But Skeletor gets a hold of the guy's head and can read his thoughts from his dead head. So now they know
Great.
his name.
Okay.
And things get complicated for him here.
Okay.
ああやれやれこれでようやく屋根のある部屋と柔らかい布団にありつけそうだ
There's a lot of depth in the composition.
Yeah.
I like how they use that.
Oh, they're all scared.
Everybody's freaked out.
They're like, oh my gosh, no. They're trying to hide.
おいこのシャーピンを一つくれ
今日の商いはもうおしまいですがよそを当たってくんなら
I'm hiding behind my bread.
Yeah.
I just want some bread.
What is going on? Everybody's gone. Oh my god.
あのな俺は餅を一つ買いたいだけだ
Look, just
銭
give
だ
me
って
some
ある
bread.
そこにあるお前何でも持ってって構わねえ
Take the
頼
bread.
むからさっさと聞い
Take
て
it.
くれ五条だから
I'm bowing you.
おい
Just leave the money here, I guess. Weird town.
一体どうなっちまってんだこの町は
So on his way out of town, he realizes what the problem is.
Sees the wanted
Nando
poster of
kore?
There's
him.
wanted posters of him everywhere.
この者と商いをする者言葉を交わす者すべて元気衆の恩敵とみなす者なり
It's not me. Wasn't
こ
me.
れ宿まで探すのは無理だなま餅が食えた
So there you go.
なるほどにありつ
This
け
next clip is another great example of the way that the characters talk to each other. When I say there's a lot of talking in the show, I feel like that has been a criticism from some people that I've seen.
Sure.
I don't feel, if you watch an anime and you like both the action and the story, you're
Yeah.
going to see a lot of panning across still images, or Johnny Quest things where just somebody's mouth is moving.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways that these, anime and animation studios save money on stuff. These are all real. Somebody is acting all of these things.
Yeah.
And they are acting constantly. There's never a situation where the puppets are just holding still and not doing anything. Like they are 100% moving in the entire time. And I think that the interactions between the characters, which I haven't really even been able to get into, are very interesting and really drive the story forward.
Yeah.
That being said, there's a fight scene every episode. Something happens.
Well,
every
there you
episode.
go.
So you get everything you want. I don't know what you want.
寝床にありつけるのは今夜が最後かもしれ
So
ないぞ
Shang has been talking to Den and trying to convince her everything's going to be okay. But now he's like, enough of this.
I'm getting out of here.
覗き見たいい
He
趣
finds
味だ
out
な
Spear
おい
Boy
こら
has been
人
eavesdropping
聞き
on
の
him.
悪いこと言うんじゃねえ俺はなあんたが大したに手出さねえように見張ってただけだ
Is
てめえ
very
こそ随分の
kabuki.
言いがかり
It's
じゃねえ
very...
つうか実際あんたあの子をいじめてただろなんだかすげえ悲しそうだったぞ
事情も知らず俺を
He's
悪
got a
役にして
crush
んじゃ
on
ね
the
えよ
girl.
だからその事情って何なわけ兄貴も機長さんも全然説明してくれねえし大使さんなんであんなに必死なんの
てめえはそもそもあの弓の先生のおまけでついてきただけなんだどうでもいいだろ
Don't touch me.
そうはいかねえよ
flying back
わけわかんねえ
from
まんまじゃ大使さんに声かけらんないじゃん
So, yeah. They never, that their approach to all the interactions and the dialogue, I think, is really great. This is a fun thing. So they get on a boat to go to where Seven Sins Mountain is, and
Okay.
the series of razor sharp rocks labyrinths that surround it. And they have to take a boat to get there. As they're on the boat, they're pulling up to shore, and the armies of the evil guys are all arrayed because they knew that they were coming. So they think this is a problem. But the assassin guy that they've got has a rivalry going on with the spear guy, because spear guy's a young guy, he's hot-headed.
Yeah, sure.
And this whole time he's been like, I can take this guy, I can take him. In fact, that scene that we just saw is the aftermath of, or I think it's a prelude to Shang going and meeting the assassin and just basically saying like, look, why don't you just give us the flute? Or maybe we can fight. Because he's trying to, because the young guy will be coming at dawn, and he knows the assassin will just kill him and wipe him out.
Okay, sure.
So like he's sort of secretly trying not to act like he's part of this, but he's like doing these noble things. Well, they're on this boat, and the assassin basically says, hey, if you can, kill a bunch of these zombie guys, these bad guys on the shore, maybe you'll be better than me. And he likes that idea.
として名を馳せることになるだろうな。
おおマジだね二言はねえな
Really likes that idea.
素直に
He just jims the camera. It's like, works every time.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like walking on water.
客の晴れ舞台だ
He's that excited.
He's super excited.
思いのほか若いやつの扱いに長けているな。いっそ弟子でも取ったらどうだ
They're like,
人を
he's
育
dead.
てるのは
Oh
勝
my
利や
god.
I'll never see him again. So he's doing pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
So he's
he's
fighting the minions of the of Skeletor. and they ask the necromancer for help. But the necromancer's like, I can't really do my thing without some dead bodies. I'm a necromancer.
Right.
And so she throws up her talismans, and the bowman shoots his arrows, sticking the talismans into all the dead bodies.
Oh my god.
She's able to do her little jazz, and they've got an army on their side.
Oh my god. Wow.
Necromancers making enemies friends.
Yes.
Since 3000 BC.
What
He's
the
like,
heck?
"Ah!"
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't want to kill ones that are our friends.
Yeah, you want to kill them all. So, one more clip. This last clip, they have reached the labyrinths that they have to get through to reach Seven Sins Mountain. And in one of them, they are in a valley of the dead. So basically zombies just shoot up out of the ground. And in order to pass this trial, the necromancer must do an incantation and play this magic flute that they've brought to find the right tone to destroy all the bad guys. And she has Dien cast a shield to protect them of holy light.
Okay.
But apparently it only holds 6 people, and they brought 7.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh my god.
So Shang gets caught outside the wire. And they're like, what? Hey, what are you guys doing?
ま、いささか窮屈な結界だ。どの道定員は6人が限度だろう。
So they can't go out and help him because they've got to help the ritual continue.
Oh my god.
So he's just stuck outside.
So he's just stuck outside trying to kill guys while they're doing the ritual. Oh my god. Yeah.
It just explodes there.
Literally
Let's get the hell
skeleton.
out of here. So anyway, that scene goes on for a long time because they keep cutting back to the circle and they're like, is the spell done yet? And she's like, they're trying to figure out when these guys died, what era they're from, because that affects the song that she has to play.
Oh my gosh.
So she ends up playing a bunch of different songs. We keep cutting back to Sheng, and he's got a sword out, and he's all bloody, and he's like, will you please kill all these zombies? So yeah, it's a great show. It's dramatic, it's exciting, it's visually interesting, it's funny as hell. I've really got nothing bad to say about the show so far.
I've watched the first episode and it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think the puppetry is amazing as well.
Yeah, it's a little. I've heard some people say that it's a little weird to like get used to, but when you think about like what you're watching in anime, which is just like people with giant eyes and big heads just running around and doing stuff, it really is no different. Like you forget after a while that you're watching that, and the way that they not only have the Amazing Glove puppetry, but also the setting. You know, the mise en scène, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
The staging, the effects that they do, like when, a blast goes out and they must have little trees. The puppets are actually they're pretty big. They're about like 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall.
Sure.
But like the trees explode and the rocks fly up and everything, all these practical effects. They must dry clean these puppets all the time.
They must.
But yeah, it's really great. That's Thunderbolt Fantasy. I'm most of the way through the first season, and it's 100% recommend from me.
Nice.
And I can't wait to see the remaining seasons and check out the manga too. So,
very cool.
Thunderbolt Fantasy is available on Crunchyroll and on Amazon with a Crunchyroll subscription.
Nice.
Well, I think that's it for our show this week.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us and coming along, and thanks to our patrons also for your support. We couldn't do the show without you, so thank you. I want to remind everybody, Patreon or no, that we have lots more Sailor Noob content available on our Patreon at patreon.com/Sailor Noob. If you want to support the show by becoming a patron, you can just go to patreon.com/Sailor Noob, or you can give us a tip, a little money in the jar at ko-fi/JustEnoughTrope. We'd love to have you. We've got a Discord as well. There's a link in the show notes. It's free to join the Discord. We talk about all kinds of things. I'm going to be talking about Thunderbolt Fantasy nonstop.
Yes.
I'm posting a lot of GIFs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Twitch before you go. Also, here on Twitch, I stream video games every weekday at 12 p.m. Central. So join us for that. I just finished up Ghostwire Tokyo, a game all about yokai in Shibuya Station. I didn't see the Joker, though, but I would have taken him out just like that. Don't even worry about it. It's all here at twitch.tv/JustEnoughTrope. That's it for our shore leave this week.
Yes.
We raked up all the leaf talk.
We did.
Next time, we'll just pay a neighborhood kid to do it.
That sounds
Why don't we
good.
just do that?
Yeah.
We'll be back next month with an all-new episode of Sailor Noob. Mika, what's our next episode going to be about?
Yeah, next episode we were talking about episode number 160, Otana ni naru yume, Amazon Nesu no Towaku in Japanese. Dream to be an adult. The Amazon Ness's confusion, not confession, confusion.
Okay.
I was a little confused there myself. The English translation, and the English title, Tomorrow's Big Dreams.
Interesting.
Yes.
Where they're going to grows up.
They're going to grows up. They're confused about it, though.
I feel like, I don't know if I said something specific. I just want to take credit for everything, but I felt like when they established them, their immaturity was kind of their only characteristic.
It was,
the
for
only
sure.
thing you can hang anything on, and so
they
now
were
we've
like-
got to twist that.
They were like, why would you want to grow up? That's stupid, you
Right.
know? So that was kind of their attitude. So now.
There's not a Peter Pan thing that we're missing, is there? Are they all tiger lilies? What's the thing? They've got the headbands and the things. Is that a thing?
The headbands and the things?
They've got the weird hair, but they've also
Yeah.
got like the headbands and the
Well, like,
things.
you remember
the balls.
The trio?
It's just
they
all balls. It's
have-
balls all the way down.
The trio had like a little thing on their
Bandanas.
foreheads, too.
Or yeah, that too. Okay, I want to talk about
So-
something different, but we will. If you want to know what we're talking about, if I want to know what I'm talking about, join us for the next episode of Sailor Noob. We've got a new episode of Sailor Cinema on our Patreon.
Yes.
Where we talk about Inu O, the new film by Masaaki Yuasa. Quick rating?
Yeah, I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. That was
4?
pretty good.
Oh, I give it 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
A rock opera.
Yeah.
A rock opera from ancient Japan.
Yes.
So check that out. If you're a Princess Level patron, or if you're interested in becoming a Princess Level patron and hearing us talk about movies like Shin Kamen Rider, Godzilla, and Inu O, check that out at patreon.com/Sailor Noob. Also, our merch is available at JustEnoughTrope at threadless.com. I'm wearing one of our shirts right now, so check that out, JustEnoughTrope at threadless.com. All the plugs are done. That's it. That's it for us for this shore leave. We'll see you next week when we make up for another episode of Sailor Noob. Wave goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everybody.